Hi everybody, I hope you're all well. Yesterday I battled a sore throat and earache, and this morning I woke up with a full-blown cold. Post-nasal drip, headache, sore throat, dry cough, runny nose and body aches. Not nice, not welcome, and I've already had it and I'm totally over it and feel like putting my head under the covers until it has gone away. Anyway, something else, or rather someone else, I wish would just go away is indeed Meghan Markle. I honestly wish everyone would just ignore her. Don't invite her to events, especially not to hold a microphone or talk on a stage. Don't offer her a TV series or anything which will expose her to the public. Those who want to support her can support her on American Riviera Orchard and go buy her strawberry jam and dog food, which brings me to the next topic, namely Invictus. The truth of Invictus is that Harry was not the one who really started Invictus. It was a team effort. Harry attended the Warrior Games in America in 2013 and presented the idea to do something similar in Britain for the British veterans. At the time, the Royal Foundation was still called the Royal Foundation of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and Prince Harry. So with the support of William, Catherine, Boris Johnson, and in partnership with the Ministry of Defence, Invictus was started. So although Harry has ever since been called the founder of Invictus, it is not really true. But everybody let him have the credit and the glory as it gave him a goal, something to do. And at the time, the armed forces and anything military was indeed his passion. So it was until Meghan Markle came into the picture. Whereas William and Catherine, via the Royal Foundation, has donated millions of pounds, including the proceeds from William's settlement against the Murdoch paper, to Invictus, Harry has done no such thing. When Harry and Meghan split from the Royal Foundation in 2019, they established the Sussex Royal Foundation on the 1st of July 2019. William distributed an amount of cash from the Royal Foundation, then of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, to the Sussex Royal Foundation of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. And if you remember, there was even an investigation into it, and it was found that the Royal Foundation did nothing wrong. But the investigation was not taken any further, or maybe it was, but was buried as so many other things before that. But why was there an investigation? Well, in layman's terms, and to cut a long story short, because there are tax implications to a charitable foundation. This charity money can or should only go to another charity. And this is why it was indeed found that the Royal Foundation did nothing wrong, because they paid Harry's share, say the third he worked for, to his charitable foundation. So all was indeed above board up to that point. However, Harry took some of that money and started Travelist, which is, to this day, a limited company. At the time, Harry said it would still be changed to a non-profit, and although it has not made any profit to date, it is still a limited company and thus still not legal to use money from a charitable foundation to establish or maintain or manage it. But that is not all. When Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties in 2020 and Sussex Royal was about to be dissolved in August 2020, they quickly renamed it MWX Foundation and dissolved MWX the very next day. What Wikipedia does not tell you is that on the same day Sussex Royal became MWX Foundation, there was a limited company called MWX LLC established and dissolved a year later. And one very pertinent question no one wishes to answer is why the Sussex Royal Foundation was dissolved with a debt of just over £70,000. So where did the capital go, which came from the Royal Foundation of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge? I'm sorry, I looked at the financials and there is obviously something missing somewhere. I gave the documents to an accountant and he said that everything balances. All the T's are crossed and the I's dotted, but obviously if the books were opened with the wrong balance, there is nothing an accountant can do. He can only work with what he is given. So, although I digressed with some ancient history, my point is that even when Harry had the money to support Invictus, he didn't. He squandered it on other things like Travelist. In September 2020, Harry and Meghan cancelled the Invictus fundraising event, which was to be held in California in 2021. And obviously they cancelled it due to COVID. Well, that is now nearly 4 years later, and lockdown has been a thing of the past for a long time. And to date, there hasn't been a peep out of Harry about organising a new event to raise funds. Instead, like a typical hobo or beggar, he just accepts that the governments of the country he is holding the games in will foot the bill, like, for instance, the Canadian government's pledge of $31 million to next year's games. So here is the truth and the revelation I have not heard anyone make. Who is thus paying for the Invictus Games since William stopped donating money? You are. The Canadian taxpayer is paying for next year's Invictus, and that, my friends, whether you like it or not, is the absolute truth. 100% the truth. Well, if you don't like this particular truth, then how about Harry and Meghan's behind-the-scenes, ever-increasing expense accounts, like Invictus paying for their $5,000 a night hotel? And I'm saying like because there is obviously more, but let's stick to what we know for now, okay? One does not want to be sued, but there is a rumor of a 1.5 million appearance fee. But I can't verify that, so let's move on. The whole idea behind Invictus was to put the spotlight on injured veterans, to assist with their mental health and to assist with treatment for their physical injuries and restraints caused by it, to give them a goal and increased physical strength through sport. Nice, really nice, and such a worthy cause. However, since basically 2017, the Invictus Games has basically become all about Meghan Markle. And since then, it has gotten worse to where she has now even taken to the stage to blab on about how proud she is of her husband, forgetting all about the men and women in front of her who lost limbs and who are still struggling physically and emotionally from their experiences of war. We have even seen her walking with the veterans, dressed like a mattress actress, awkward and embarrassing. No wonder Invictus has now been renamed the Meghan Show. Not even the Meghan and Harry Show, but only the Meghan Show. So where are the veterans in all of this? Well, it appears they are just optional extras in the Meghan Show. Sad, very, very sad. So, there is a story making the rounds that Harry has been sacked as the Invictus patron and that Mike Tyndall and Zara are now the new patrons. Well, that, unfortunately, is not true. Like so many other stories before that, it was a suggestion made on Twitter or X. A very good suggestion, in my opinion, but one which has not gone any further as yet or at all. But we'll talk about that a little more in a moment. Let's just talk about what is true. As we all know, Invictus 2023 was held in Düsseldorf. Since then, Germany has decided to provide their veterans a tad more than Harry and his crew is currently offering, and therefore formed Invictus Germany, which, although still part of Invictus with invitations to all other Invictus games, are now completely independent from Harry's Invictus games. Firstly, they will be running the Invictus Germany games annually and not every second year like the Invictus games of Harry and Meghan. And they will be hosting their first games on July the 27th and 28th this year. How funny will it be if they invite Harry, but just as a spectator, and all speeches and presentations are made by German veterans and military, and Harry just have to sit there and clap his flippers. However, I doubt Germany will pay for his private jet, so I doubt he'll make it. He'll likely only send a distorted face video message. I mean, heck, can someone help him position his laptop so that his nose does not look like an approaching submarine? Anyway, moving on. Harry, the falsely hailed founder of Invictus, is now threatening not to attend this service in the United Kingdom to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Invictus because of the loss he suffered against the government for Royal Met security. Now, I've never seen anything so ridiculous and stupid, and sorry if I offend anyone, but a fact is a fact. Anyone who falls for this is as stupid as Harry, if not more so. Harry was in Canada not too long ago with only, I think, 2 almost invisible bodyguards. If I didn't know the one guy's face, I would not have known or recognized him as security. Then Harry and Meghan were in Jamaica recently, also with only 2 bodyguards. So let me read to you one sentence from a very, very recent 2024 report. Jamaica has some of the highest rates of violent crime and homicides in the Western Hemisphere. The rate of intentional homicides per 100,000 people in the UK is 1.2, and UK we mean England and Wales. In Jamaica it is 53.3, yet Harry is threatening not to attend the May 8th Invictus service at St. Paul's Cathedral due to security concerns. What a load of BS, total hogwash. This is, number 1, Harry throwing a tantrum because he did not get his way. Number 2, Harry thinking he is more important than he really is. And number 3, Harry making an ass of himself once again as a so-called brave veteran himself, too afraid to go to a church service. And number 4, this is Harry, whose wife likely told him, if I can't go, you can't go. And number 5, this is Harry, too shit scared to face a formal meeting with the King and likely William and their legal representatives. And lastly, this is Harry again, putting his personal interests before that of the wounded veterans he vowed to serve. So yes, I am fully supportive of having him kicked out as the Invictus patron. It may even break him because it is basically all he has left of who he used to be. It is all he has left to offer his wife as opportunity to parade herself. But how many people must suffer, lose out on opportunities, and be hurt and disappointed by these two before the line is drawn? I personally think Mike and Zara will make brilliant patrons, but so will Peter Phillips. Peter studied at the University of Exeter and graduated with a degree in sports science. In his gap year, he worked in Sydney at Sports Entertainment Limited. Later, he also worked for Jackie Stewart's Formula One racing team. He also represented Scotland at rugby union at youth and junior level in the mid-90s, and he played for the Exeter University Rugby League team. Quite the sportsman and well educated in the management side of sport. How much more sense would this make as new appointees? Harry can't even manage his own finances or his own life for that matter. All he can do well these days is fall off a horse. Okay, guys and girls, let's leave it there for now with my throat aflame. This was already an ordeal, but not to worry, I'm taking care of it and hopefully it will all be better in 24 hours. So until we meet again on the next video, please take good care of yourselves and each other. Bye.